When a deadly new Titans foe decides to threaten the entirety of Earth, it's going to take the whole of the DC universe to battle it. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Titans Beast World issue number 1. The kickoff to a brand new DC Comics winter event. Let's hop on in together and find out what happens next, shall we? So then, as the comic opens, we the reader are reintroduced to Brother Eternity. Don't know who this guy is? Well, he's a new villain over in Tom Taylor's excellent Titans solo series. To make a long story short, this guy is the new leader of the very old Church of Blood, only while that group was more interested in demons and sacrifice and all that jazz. The new Church of Eternity is all about passing itself off as saviors of mankind. Brother Eternity addresses his followers on TV and goes on a whole big spiel about how Earth is doomed, and that the only way that the species will ever hope to survive is if they can try and make a new home for themselves amongst the stars. It's because of that the Church of Eternity has taken a bunch of money from its followers so that they can fund a brand new space expedition to the planet of Titan. Well, I mean, actually it's a moon, but now I'm just splitting hairs. These astronauts aren't on the moon for long, though, when they realize that they're not the first ones to step foot here. They see a giant, creepy alien cathedral with strange markings on it. It's at that point Brother Eternity speaks in an alien language that Starfire is able to pick out right away as ancient Tamaranian, the language of her people. Again, you would know if you were reading the main Titans book that Brother Eternity actually isn't human at all, but actually a rogue Tamaranian-looking human through the use of makeup. Ew, he's in human face. Gross. Brother Eternity is also behind several of the ecological disasters that are spurring people into joining his cause, in case you were wondering. Now, seeing as the Titans are the premier super team of Earth right now, they quickly jump into action when they see there's a problem. Cyborg opens up a boom tube and the team attempts to rescue the astronauts. Unfortunately, they're too slow, and by the time they get there, they're already dead. Worse still, the entire planet starts rumbling and opening up, and that's because the moon of Titan is actually no planetoid at all. It's actually an ancient prison for Brother Eternity's true master, an evil, massive alien entity going only by the name the Necrostar Conqueror. And if that naming convention sounds familiar to you, it should, because as Starfire explains to the entire DC hero community who have convened at the brand new Titans Tower, the Necrostar was actually the ancient foe of the Tamaranians, who once long ago had almost wiped out the entirety of the species, only to be stopped at the last second by the coming of Starro the Conqueror. Yes, that's Starro the Conqueror, the first villain that the Justice League of America ever battled in their debut issue. With Titan destroyed, the creature is now making a beeline for Earth, and when it gets here, it's going to use its alien spores to enslave everyone on the planet unless our heroes can stop them. Batman thinks that they should probably rally their allies on other planets, but it's actually Beast Boy, of all people, who actually ends up having another idea of how they can stand against this creature. Again, if you've been reading the main Tom Taylor series, you'll know Beast Boy's actually been getting a lot of great focus in that book, as is his romantic relationship with Raven. In fact, when Batman blows him off, Rachel steps on it and says, "Hey, you can't talk to him like he's one of your Robins. I think he has a good idea." In the end, though, it's the Titans who are actually running the show right now, which means as leader, it's actually Nightwing who gets to decide, and Dick, as always, backs his friend's play. What exactly is Garfield's plan right now? Well, it's a doozy. While half of the team goes to meet the Necrostar in combat, while also trying to save as many people from the spores as possible, while Beast Boy and Cyborg decide to head to the ocean. Garfield admits that while he might not have the brain processing power to do what needs to be done here, there is a certain sort of whale that actually has the biggest brain of any creature on the planet. And once he's fully figured out the mechanics of the thing, Beast Boy decides that the only way to stop this new Conqueror is if he himself can become a Starro Conqueror. And I mean, on paper, it certainly makes sense. Beast Boy has become some pretty amazing creatures before, both the fantasy kind, the extinct kind, so why shouldn't he also be able to become an alien kaiju beast? Just turning into the thing is pretty goddamn impressive, but it's what happened next that really takes the cake. You see, the Necrostar spores start infecting other heroes like Shazam, turning them all against each other. But now Beast Boy, or Garo the Conqueror as he's dubbed himself, is actually able to step on in with his own spores to get his friends back under control. And yes, Beast Boy can actually do this. The whole last arc in the Titans book under Taylor basically explained that yes, Beast Boy can split himself into swarms of creatures, he just chooses chooses not to do it because it's a major strain on him mentally, but also because if any one creature in that swarm was to die, poor Beast Boy is very literally losing a piece of himself, and well, that's really not good for him. As Garo the Conqueror, Garfield is actually able to take the fight to the Necrostar, and he kinda whoops his ass real good. Of course, he can't just beat him with his bare hands. Once again, this is where Cyborg steps on in. With the Hail Mary play, Victor opens up another boom tube, one the size of a country, so that Beast Boy can push it through to the other side of the Boomerang Nebula. Never heard of it? Well, apparently it's the coldest place that we can observe in the universe, meaning it's about time the Necrostar goes back to sleep for its long winter nap. It's not an easy win. Poor Garo ends up losing a tentacle when the portal closes behind it, but hey, you know what? He's got 3 others. Normally, this would be a cause for much celebration. The heroes have won the day, and they did it in issue 1, but oh, you just know it couldn't possibly be that simple, could it? Because it's at that very moment, Cyborg and Beast Boy end up getting ambushed by Dr. Hate. Now, I know some of you out there have absolutely no idea who this character is, because up until now, they've only been featured in backup stories and free comic book days. To make a long story short, this dude is some mystery figure working for Amanda Waller to try and undermine the superhero community. He's also wearing the Helmet of Hate, an evil version of the Helmet of Fate. Now, despite having a stupid name but an admittedly cool costume, Dr. Hate's plan is actually kind of clever now that Garo is connected to so many different people on Earth via his own spores. Hate has decided to swoop on in and, using his magic powers, corrupt Garo the Conqueror, and in doing so, transform everyone on Earth who was affected by Garo's spores into human-animal hybrids, like poor Black Adam, who ends up going full Planet of the Apes as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Titans Beast World issue number 1, everyone, and ultimately I would say I'm pretty pleased with the kickoff to this new event. It certainly helps that it's building off a lot of the good work and goodwill that Tom Taylor created for his Titans series. This, of course, being the first big major event wherein the Titans get to stand in the place that is normally reserved for the Justice League, which was one of the big promises of DC Dawn, so it's nice to see them follow this to fruition. Beast Boy gets to be a major character, Nightwing gets to throw his weight around and get actually respected by everyone else. I'm still not totally convinced by Dr. Hate. Again, we first saw this guy at the end of that last big Nightmares event, and that certainly left a bad taste in my mouth, but here's hoping Beast World is just what the Doctor ordered to wash it out and give us something fun, new, and exciting. I was kind of worried that new readers who haven't been following Taylor's Titans run might have a hard time getting into this one, but thankfully they do a good job getting you up to speed on basically everything important. Also, unlike the last couple DC events where it felt like there were a million extraneous tie-ins, Beast World is thankfully keeping things pretty mellow. Every city is actually going to get their own little tie-in. The story will obviously continue over in Titans, and also surprisingly in the pages of Action Comics and Green Arrow too, because, well, Williamson is writing those books and he's kind of been planting the seeds in those series, and Dr. Hate is one of his inventions. So if any of those sound like they might interest you, be sure to keep your eyes open, and if not, be sure to keep your eyes peeled to my channel, because I'm probably going to be covering most of them. As far as the first issue goes, I would feel comfortable giving it an 8 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.